boring a hole into the side of your head, and you were like totally oblivious. Good morning, Spiritual Life Center. Welcome to the SLC Sunday Experience. We're so glad you're here. Today we have a very special Sunday, as usual. Today we have Bejan with us and Lori. We have Catherine Mandella and Yadi Kavakebi. Cameron Lawson on the guitar, and Dom and myself. And all of you beautiful souls who are welcome here. Let's sing about that.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. Oh, my soul is welcomed here. Oh, my soul is welcomed here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcomed here. Welcome here, welcome home, SLC. We're glad you're home. Yes, we are. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I am meant to be. I'm in the right place here. Oh, my soul is welcomed here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcomed here. Oh, my soul is welcomed here. Oh, my soul is welcomed here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcomed here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcomed here. Your soul is welcome here, right here at SLC. And we're glad you came home to be with us today. Internet community, we love you, we see you, we know you're there. Welcome home, welcome home. My soul is welcomed here. My soul is welcomed here. Your soul, my soul. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Yeah.
Good morning, SLC. You know, on our magical mystery tour of unity and world religions, we come to Islam. It's going to be a very special Sunday. We found at the 9 o'clock service there was a whole lot of shaking going on with a lot of dancing. So mind, in London they say mind the gap on the underground. Mind the dancers, but join the dancers. And it's going to be a very positive, wonderful service. And welcome and good morning, Reverend Lisa.
Good morning, Reverend Rick, and good morning, SLC. We greet you in the name of all that is good, all that is sacred, and all that is holy, and in the warm and loving energy of our community, Spiritual Life Center. Spiritual Life Center honors all people worshiping temples, mosques, churches, stone circles, and the beautiful temples of nature, because we know that there is no spot that God is not. Yeah. And if this is your first time joining us, we online or in person, we especially welcome you because we know that you're not here by accident. In fact, we're all here by divine appointment. Please silence your electronic devices and refrain from flash photography during the service.
And today's daily word is guidance. The affirmation is, In the divine presence, I am guided. Divine guidance is not only found in burning bushes or mind-blowing revelations. More often it arrives as gentle nudges, subtle enough to overlook, ordinary enough to dismiss. Yet these quiet signals are holy too. A craving for sweetness, a need for fresh air, a miracle that tightens or relaxes. All can be taken as cues to care for body and soul. As I become present to the fullness of my humanity, my senses, intuition, and inner knowing, I recognize guidance as ever-flowing. It invites a restorative resting of mind and heart. It is an alert stillness that listens, a receptive openness, which clarifies and emerges, and a gentle direction which unfolds. I trust the quiet impulses that draw me forward, allowing the simplest moments to lead me toward my soul's fulfillment with ease. And as that great Islamic mystic and poet Rumi said, I have been a seeker all my life, but I stopped asking books and the stars, and I have started listening to the teachings of my own soul. Today's daily word is guidance. It's almost a year that I have been here, and so many wonderful things, and I've met so many wonderful people. But high on that list of gratitude is the relationship and friendship with David and Rachel Lyman. David and I had a conversation this week, and David told me that he is going to, at the end of this month, going off dialysis. Which means that his transition will probably be soon after that. I mean, so much that the Lymans have done. I mean, this whole interfaith journey, so much of it has to do with what David and Rachel did and have continued to do. Gandhi said that nothing good is ever lost and will not be lost in terms of the Lymans. We intend very much to continue here at SLC all that they have done in terms of interfaith explorers. And I must tell you, I mean, I wasn't around when Myrtle Fillmore made her transition in 1931, but from all that I have read about it, I mean, there will come a time in all our lives where, I mean, hopefully a lot of us will experience both physical healing and a spiritual cure now. But there will come a time in our lives where probably the physical cure will not be there, but the opportunity for spiritual healing is. In the case of Myrtle Fillmore, she said that she felt that by making the transition, she could do more good on the other side. I saw it in my late wife, Debbie, roughly 9 years ago when she made the decision to leave the cancer center and go to hospice. And I definitely have seen it in David. I mean, that spiritual piece, and you know David, it was his humor. I mean, he couldn't do it without humor. And so we are so grateful for all that they have done and know that we will continue at SLC to be grateful to build on what they have done in terms of interfaith explorers. Let's go into prayer. Dear Spirit, thank you for David and Rachel. Help them to know that healing spirit which surrounds them, that spirit of power and joy. And to know, as Gandhi said, that nothing good is ever lost. Help them to know how well loved they truly, truly, truly are. And for them to continue to get that guidance and that sustenance, to continue making the right decisions and doing the next right thing. Thank you for SLC, this incredible spiritual community with a powerful message, not just for Sacramento, but for the world beyond, as we love, serve, and remember. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. And we also say our mission statement. Not because it's boilerplate or something like that, because honestly, truly, it does remind us of who we have come here to be. Let's say it together. To transform lives, to make a positive difference in the world as we love, serve, and remember. And we also say those 5 unity principles because when we take the time to stop and remember them, they really bring some real gusto. They taste great and are less filling. So let's say it all together. God is absolute good and everywhere present. People are inherently good. Thoughts create our experiences. Prayer and meditation are how we connect with God. And we must take action. And boy, oh boy, there is something going on around here almost every day, which, I mean literally every day, which can help you on your spiritual walk. Lisa, what are some of the things which are going around
Well,
here?
I'm going to tell you about what's happening this Wednesday, but before I do that, I'd like to thank Cherise Costa for these wonderful decorations that we have today.
Yes.
So this Wednesday, we will be having our Oneness Prayer Circle with the prayer chaplains. This is our opportunity to come together in prayer and meditation and be served personally in this intimate way in our chapel. That'll be followed by our community meal at 6 o'clock. We ask that you would please RSVP by Monday so that our salad makers can prepare for how much food they should bring. We just are so appreciative of their volunteering that service. So we're now entering a time of Wow Wednesdays that are mostly focused on our World Religion series. So we're opening that up with a talking stick circle. It will be facilitated by Elaine Laroa. And this is a chance for you to come and share what your experiences have been with world religions and religion in general. So we invite you to join us for that. Speaking of Wow Wednesdays, at the end of the month, we're having a Religions of the World spiritual poetry reading. You can also say your own poetry, but we do ask that you contact Jackie Schultz to sign up for that. And go ahead and do that now. There's a sudden surprise announcement. We're trying to wrap up our Costa Rica raffle. And so we're having a special flash sale where if you already bought a ticket for $100, or if you do now, you're able to buy your second raffle ticket at half price, $50. So you might want to take advantage of that. And now moving into what's happening for education. We just finished our unapologetic manifestation class, and now Reverend Christine Boughton, who's here in the room, she is starting the class called the Power of 8 workshop, and that's starting this Wednesday at 3:30. It's in person right here at SLC, so I know you can talk to Christine if you'd like to hear more of that. Also, I'll be beginning a class online on Zoom, 7:30 on Tuesdays, August 4th, on the art of conversation. This is a Unity credit class, but anybody can take it. It's based on the books Crucial Conversations and Nonviolent Communications. So speak to me if you'd like to know more about that.
Volunteers play such an important role in our congregation, and we're going to be celebrating them, celebrating the heart of service. It's going to be Sunday, August 2nd. There's going to be, after the 11 o'clock service on August 2nd, there is going to be a lunch sponsored by our Board of Trustees. And then at 1:15 to 2:45, we're going to do a special celebration right here for volunteers. So if you're a volunteer, we're asking you to please show then. If you're not a volunteer, come on down. I mean, because, again, there's so many wonderful opportunities towards volunteering. And we have an update from Monica Hart about our Board of Trustees.
Thank you. I behold your divine nature that is holy, whole and complete. I see you. So good morning. I'm so honored to represent our dedicated Board of Trustees, and many of them are with us this morning. So William Arthur Ward once said, feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. So I can tell you on behalf of the board how grateful we are to serve you. We love and appreciate you, your kindness, support, and how you believe in us. And I have to tell you that this board, we are in love with each other. We're having a love fest. Just want you to know that, okay? So I'd like to share some of the important board updates with you. And first of all, what I'd like to do is to remind us that as Spiritual Life Center members, we're practicing and living and breathing the Integral Ministry Program, which is about building a spiritually thriving, inclusive, mission-centered community where each of us feels empowered and responsible for the collective mission of the church. Our decisions are based on our evolutionary purpose to transform lives and to inspire people to make a positive difference in the world, to love, serve, and remember. So one of the most important aspects of this Integral Ministry Program is the board is in the process of crafting their job descriptions, executive board and board members, because it is focused on the skills that are needed, qualifications, accountabilities, so that each of us representing you and serving you can be the highest expression of our divine nature. Rev Lisa is also working with the staff and the volunteers to create the integral job descriptions. And what that means is we're able to stay focused and to enhance the empowerment of anyone who is serving in this ministry to fully express their skills and their talents. So another commitment, board and leadership development, is so important to the board. And so we've made a commitment to partner with Reverend Cynthia Vermillion Foster, and she facilitates board and leadership development and training so that we may enhance new skills and better serve each of you. So I'd like to just give you an overview, thanks to our esteemed treasurer, Marcia McCrimmons, a financial update. So the Financial Committee and Board approved the May financials. May income exceeded the proposed budget because of a large unexpected donation, increasing our year-to-date gain. Expenses were over budget due to the courtyard improvements, George and the team, and the handrail that went up on Friday, thanks to Victor Sparks and George, right? Have you experienced the handrail? You got to touch it. You got to experience it. It feels so good. It is wonderful. So, as I said, expenses were a little over budget due to these wonderful improvements, safety improvements, and the payroll timing. And the net loss in May was mainly due to 3 payrolls, but the year-to-date shows a positive just over 11,000 gain. Wait, there's more. Hold on. Cash totals remain really healthy, $80,525. All thanks to you. We are grateful to each of you coming together and embracing our integral ministry practice by taking ownership, that flow of prosperity. So thank you. Our gala, we're coming up September the 18th. Are you ready? So, yes, we are, and the board is working on that, working with Linda Paoli and the whole team. So just wanted to let you know that July 26th through August 23rd, we are inviting you to think of creative raffle auction items that our guests and each of you would enjoy bidding on. So be thinking about that. And I'm just going to say one other thing and get out of here. Kathy, Donna, Marcia McCrimmons, and myself, we are actually going to go out and canvass the businesses to invite them to gift some raffle items since we support the local economic development here. So if you have any questions, you know we should all have our name tags on, so you should be able to spot us easily. George is right over there. So you want to thank him for that handrail and all the stuff out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So now we want to take this time to remind you that prayer is such an important foundational aspect of our ministry. And then we have our prayer chaplains here to serve you in the courtyard. So please take advantage of their praying with you and sign up for monthly prayer calls. And while you're on your way out there, take a look at the wall in the lobby. You can see most everything that's going on coming up there. Also, sign up for an event at the hub in the courtyard and take a look at the website to see even more of what our small groups are doing during the week.
And now we come to the favorite part of the service for me. That's the connection. So let's share that connection right now.
How sweet it is. And please join us, welcome back, and join us on the next song. It's our group song, and we love you. Please join us, and if love is why I'm here. Yes, settle in and join us on this next tune. Let me give Love is why we're here. Let us give and then receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. If love is why you're here, may you be an open channel. If love is why you're here, may you give and then receive. Give and receive. And receive. Love is why I'm here. Let me be an open channel. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. If love is why I'm here, let me give and then receive. Let me give and then receive. Let me give and then receive.
Please be seated. Now, as we prepare for our meditation, let me tell you ahead of time that we're going to have an instrumental music in leading us into meditation today rather than a chant. So you can just sit back and just dive deep into that beautiful, gentle breeze that you hear from this instrument called the ney. Before we do that, let's speak together our vision statement. Spiritual Life Center is a loving, vibrant family that welcomes home all people and accepts everyone, no exceptions, weaving ancient spiritual traditions with emerging wisdom. We cultivate a spiritual deepening with the divine, each other, and our planet.
I invite you to close your eyes. Allow yourself to enter that beautiful sound bath that has been and is and will be around you. Notice the calming energy, the sound echoing through your soul, surrounding and filling you. Let's breathe together, taking in a very deep breath in, holding, and release it with an ah. That ah is part of the sound bath. Let's take in another collective breath together. This time allowing your energy, your body, to merge with the sound, the vibrating energy around you. In and out. Feel your body relaxing, softening, the edges of you merging with all that is present. Your energy dancing with your surroundings, swaying with the sound. And it's okay if your body wants to sway with the sound. Nobody's watching. There is no judgment. Let your body move. The sounds are alive just as you are alive. Breathing in, aware of the in-breath. Breathing out, aware of the out-breath. More and more relaxed. In-breath, out-breath. Imagine your breath is a gentle breeze. Breathing in and breathing out. Rumi wrote, "On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and the world is full of beauty. Today is such a day." There is a breeze that can enter your soul. As you breathe, open your heart. Allow that breeze to enter your soul, to be you. Breathing in, opening your heart. Breathing out, opening wider. Rumi continues, on a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and the love starts. Today is such a day. You are filled with love with every breath, in and out. Breathing love. Absorb also these words from the Sufi poet Hafiz. I hear the voice of a friend, a whispered promise that love will never end. The wind whispers secrets of the heart's deep desire. A gentle breeze that fans the flames of love's fire. Breathing, relaxed, calm, filled with love, heart open, being love in the silence. As you return to the present, slowly and gently open your eyes. Love, like life, flows through the heart. I invite you to allow Rumi's quote to continue to echo within your being. On a day when the wind is perfect, the sail just needs to open and love starts. Today is such a day. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.
Didn't I tell you, do not go there, for I am your friend, and this mirage of fading shadows. I am life without end, even if you run in anger for 100,000 years. You will return to me at last. I am where the path clears. Didn't I tell you I am the ocean and you are the fish? Don't go to the dry land. I am the only water you could wish. Didn't I tell you, don't be fooled by the world's design? I am the painter of your joy, the artist of the divine. Didn't I tell you, don't be fooled by the world's desire? Come back to me. I am the wings, I am the power of the air. Didn't I tell you they will rob you and leave you cold? But I am the fire, the warmth of your soul, as I foretold. They put ugly masks upon your face to make you forget that I am the source of beauty, the purest love you've met. Don't ask how the stars align or how the world is spun. I am the creator without limits. I am the only one. If you are the lamp of the heart, you know where to roam. And if you seek the divine, know that I'm your home. Didn't I tell you? I am your home. Didn't I tell you? I am your home. Didn't I tell you that I am your home? I am your home. I am your
You know, our music ministry on a typical Sunday is incredible. But I think for this series on unity and world religion, oh my God, every week has been incredible. And Paula is, of course, our music director. Paula, I'm thinking of adding one more week to this series. No. Paula, I'm going to do it on Scientology simply because I want to see what kind of music you come up with. Aren't they wonderful? Incredible. You know, and God has given up trying to invent an instrument that Catherine Mandella can't play. So, and Paul, thank you for such a wonderful, wonderful meditation. So, we come to Islam, and to quote Dr. Evil, Islam is number 2. It is the second largest religion on the face of the earth, but social demographers, many of them predict, given current trends, that sometime in the 2070s, Islam will overtake Christianity and become the largest religion on the face of the earth. And, you know, it's interesting, given that so much of American society and culture has, shall we say, a very questionable relationship with Islam. I am so proud that that is not the case with SLC. You know, when we were turfed out of our rental space and had no place to go for Easter, guess where we were welcomed? We were welcomed at the Islamic Mosque, and that made national news. But I got to tell you, something happened 2 weeks ago which make me even more proud of you guys. We received a letter from the executive director of the Islamic Center where we're going to be doing our travels to and our field trip to. He wrote back and said, you know, September 11th was not an easy time to be a Muslim, you know, quite frankly. But he said we could always count on the love and support of SLC. And reading that just meant, you know, meant, I is so proud of, so as I said, of you guys. So let me start out by asking you a question. This question is just slightly more important than does your chewing gum lose its flavor on the bedpost overnight? How many of you remember the old Rocky and Bullwinkle story? Show, yeah, okay. And if many of you will remember, one of the features usually on the week, every week, was Mr. Peabody and his boy Sherman. Now, Mr. Peabody was a dog who walked upright, wore a tie, and by the way, this tie was Phil Pearson's. I'm very proud of. Very, very proud of it. So pandemonium. So Mr. P, and he wore glasses, and he looked like a 1950s or 60s egghead. And he had a boy named Sherman. And Mr. Peabody also had a Wayback Machine, a time machine. And so, Mr. Peabody would say, Sherman, get to the Wayback Machine. Yes, sir, Mr. Peabody, where are we going? Set it for 600 AD. Okay, Mr. Peabody, but where are we going? We're going to the Arabian Peninsula. Why are we going there? Because something very profound is going to happen there, Sherman. Here we are. Let's walk around, Sherman. Look. There's so many idols. It is such a polytheistic society. And it's almost like this place is run by the mafia or mafias. I mean, it's almost like Mecca is run by the Gambino family and Medina is run by the Corleone family. I mean, and you need this protection and somebody, a patron to really, if you don't have patron and support, you're like a fly on a fly swatter. And so here comes this boy named Muhammad, and he's born into a clan which is not that powerful to begin with. But he has, at a very early age, he becomes an orphan. No mama, no papa. There is an uncle who's giving him some support, but the uncle dies. So to steal a line from Bob Dylan, this Muhammad is a complete unknown, like a rolling stone. However, he has three things going for him. First, he has a very keen mind. Second, he has developed a strong work ethic. Sounds like my kind of guy. And three, and I probably should have put this one first, he has the love and support of God, of Allah, but he doesn't know it at this time. Anyway, a lot of times, particularly in Western society, when you want to say something derogatory about Muhammad, call him a camel jockey, and he was called that on a lot of times. But this completely misunderstands the Arabian Peninsulas. I mean, if you're a maritime society like Great Britain, then your fleet is really important, both for protection and also for commerce. You become a captain of a ship or an admiral of a fleet, you really are something. So Muhammad gets involved in caravans. It's not a big caravan he's leading, but it's small, not really that important. But at the time, in Mecca, there is an older woman by the name of Khadijah. Khadijah is a widow. She is some of the most important caravans are her caravans. She has her fingers in almost everything going in terms of commerce in this part of the world. She sees this young Muhammad, says, come here. You can work for me, puts him on a minor caravan and all that, sees that he's good, moves him up, and eventually he's leading some of the most important caravans for Khadijah. They start courting, they fall in love, and they marry. Now, there was something I forgot to tell you about this. All this happened slightly before the invention of air conditioning. And so it was really hot. And so Muhammad decides one time to go into this cave. Now, some say he went in the cave because he was hot. Others said he went into the cave because he wanted to meditate. Given unity, why not? He was hot and he wanted to meditate, both at the same time. Great taste, less filling, all at once. So he goes into the cave and he hears this voice saying, recite, recite. And he's what is going on? He bolts out of there. He bolts out of there. Now, I've told this story before here, but I think given the circumstance, it bears repeating, because I really identify with Muhammad bolting out of the cave even when a divine voice is talking. It was a few years ago. I had a dream. I was in this dilapidated beach house in the dream. I walk into a room. It has peeling paper and wallpaper and all that. Out of the four walls come what somehow I just know they're the four worthies. And they're dressed like Gandalf. And one of the worthies points to me and says, look, he's already starting to heal. Boy, oh boy, in the dream, I bolted out of there like greased lightning. I woke up, I'm breathing heavily. And then I said to myself, why did I run out of the cave? Why did I bolt like that? I mean, one, four worthies. I know they're worthies. They're dressed like Gandalf. I love Gandalf. And one of them's telling me I'm healing. And I know the number from Jungian psychology, I know the number 4 means good stuff. Why did I bolt? I mean, even when all that's coming, Ben, bolted out of there. And I can understand Muhammad doing this. He went to Khadijah and he said, Khadijah, I think I'm going crazy. I think I'm going crazy. I mean, I don't know whether it was the divine voice or what, but and you know what? If Khadijah had said to him, I've been meaning to bring this up with you, Muhammad. Yeah, you have been going wacko burgers lately. I mean, that would have been the end of Islam. I mean, it never would have. But Khadijah did not do that. Khadijah said to him, why not it be a divine voice? Go back into the cave. Go back into the cave and listen to what that voice has to say to you. Now, there's a modern corollary to almost like this, and it was with Bill Wilson, the co-founder of AA. In the 1920s, Bill was a great tycoon on Wall Street, but by the 1930s, his alcoholism had laid him low. I mean, he was unemployable. He had gone through maybe 3 or 4 trips to what's called Towns Hospital in New York City to dry out. Nothing is working. He's a wreck in one room. The doctor is in the next room with his wife, Lois. They think he can't hear the conversation, but Bill hears all of this. The doctor says to Lois, his wife, he said, I got to tell you this. He's probably going to die of alcoholism in a few months. And I got to tell you, Mrs. Wilson, an alcoholic death is not a pretty one and goes into this. You need to prepare. Bill hears all of this. It's now nighttime. He gets out of the bed and he goes to the window. And probably if you and I saw it, we would think he's about to open the window and jump. He looks out the window and he says, and this is not a sophisticated prayer. You don't need sophisticated prayer. He said, if there's anything out there, help, help. And all of a sudden, he experienced what he called the bright winds of the Spirit. It was a transformative moment, almost like, and I compare it to Moses in the burning bush. And from that time flowed the 12 steps, a recovery system which has worked for millions of people around the world for so many forms of addictions. But the similarity, Bill went down to, and it was interesting, just like Don Rickles, I don't get no respect, or Rodney Dangerfield, I don't get no respect around here. A lot of times the early pioneers in AA used to call these Billy's hot flashes. He goes to the doctor and he says, I just had this, if the doctor, am I going crazy? If the doctor had said, yeah, Bill, you're going crazy, probably end of 12 steps, never would have happened. But the doctor, like Khadijah, looked at him and said, Bill, whatever it was, hang on to it. It is so much better than what you had before. And so anyway, Khadijah go back into the cave. Muhammad goes back into the cave and listens to this voice. And what he's hearing gets recorded. And later, what he hears is collected and becomes the Quran. And what he hears is from Allah, God, and he hears about a very strong form of absolute monotheism and surrender to God, the importance of surrender. He hears about social justice. He hears about compassion. And he also hears about love, and that this should be beyond clan and tribe. It should be something to far beyond clan and tribe. Now, he starts preaching this in Mecca. I mean, if you're making, there's a lot of money, to quote Dukes of Hazzard, remember Boss Hogg and Dukes of, there's a lot of simoleons in making these idols and idol worship and all that. And this guy's upsetting the apple cart, as it were. He was not too popular. One of the Quran obviously is the most holy book in Islam, but almost right up there is something called the Hadith, which are stories about Muhammad and the early pioneers of Islam. One of my favorite stories in there is, so they're trying to kill him, and they're trying to get to Muhammad and in Mecca, and he's with one of his servants and one of his followers, servant, and they're hiding in a proverbial broom closet. And the servant said to Muhammad, said, "There's no hope. There's 1,000 of them. There's only 2 of us." Now, this reminds me very much. I'm a great fan of both Paul Newman and also John Wayne, because they had the brilliance. After they were, starring as young men, matinee idols, but then they were past prime. And both Paul Newman and John Wayne they were getting a little paunchy and all, they had the sense of using this stuff to create characters who were over the hill. For example, Paul Newman in The Sting, Harry Gondorf, and over seen better days and all that. Can he really cut a deck and stuff like that? And John Wayne in True Grit, sort of boozy, paunchy. Can he really ride a horse? Well, one of my favorite scenes in True Grit, which is very much like the broom closet in Muhammad. So there's John Wayne on the horse, and there are 1,000 people lined up after them with guns, ready to get him. And his sidekick says, "You can't fight them. There are 1,000 of them, and there's only one of you." John Wayne looks into the camera and says, "I know the odds are unfair, but they're going to have to fight me anyway." And then he goes out. And so anyway, the servant says to Muhammad, "There are 1,000 of them, there's only 2 of us." And Muhammad said, "No, there's not 2 of us. There's 3 of us," and points up, meaning Allah. And that night they were able to get out of Mecca. Medina, that other city over here, maybe not as big as Mecca, but an important city, says, "We're looking for a mayor, we're looking for somebody, chief justice, chief priest, to lead us. Would you come and lead us?" Muhammad goes to Medina, starts leading, and Medina's going through a wonderful, incredible transformation. By, a few years after the death of Muhammad, all of Arabia is now Islamic. And the other thing which I think sometimes we say derisively in the West, or we say that out of ignorance, Islam, which means the surrender to God, we call it Mohammedism. And Muhammad would say, "That's you missed the point. I'm not, I don't claim to be divine or anything. I'm just a human being like you, fortunate enough to get these messages from Allah. And if you want miracles," said Muhammad, "the greatest miracle is that a schnook like me could talk, and out of that came something as beautiful as the Quran." Well, this is another story from the Hadith. So anyway, and I think really gives this image of what Muhammad was. He has an army, and he has a general, and he lines up his troops and all this. The general comes to Muhammad and says, "Sir, this battle plan that you've just formed, did it come from you or from Allah? Muhammad thought about it a moment. He said, it came from me. He said, oh, well, says the general, very good, because if you said it came from Allah, we would have done this. But since you said it came from you, may I suggest, and he suggests an alternative battle plan, and Muhammad says, yeah, let's try that. And he tries it, and they, as I say, they win the battle. Not only does Arabia go over to Islam, but maybe 100 years later, all of North Africa is, this is like greased lightning. All of North Africa is Islamic. It starts spreading into Baghdad. It starts spreading into Tehran. It goes into Asia. And as a matter of fact, the Islamic country with the largest population is Indonesia. And it's interesting. It spreads into Spain. And if a few battles had gone differently, in Spain, where Spain goes into France, and also around here from the Eastern Front in Turkey, maybe around 3 or 4 battles. If those battles had gone differently, all of Europe probably would have gone Islam. It's not too far-fetched to think of an alternative history where Europe, essentially almost all of Europe went Islamic. And if that were the case, then obviously North America and South America would have been founded in terms of on Islam. Incredible, as I say, incredibly powerful and growing very fast in this day and age. At the heart, just like Buddhism has its 4 noble truths, we have our 5 unity principles. There are 5 pillars in Islam. The first pillar is that pillar of faith. Essentially around the following prayer, there is no God but God. There is no God but Allah. And Muhammad is the final, is the prophet. It's interesting in Islam, a lot of other places, to be converted, you have to go through a long rigmarole. And in Unity, we're going through this debate, how much rigmarole do we have to go through before people become, members of Unity? I must say, again, remember I was adopted by a Jewish family. Guys, if you're thinking of converting to Judaism and you're not circumcised, it's going to be interesting if you want to go over to Judaism. But that very simple, that bedrock of faith, there is no God but God. There's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the prophet. The second, just like in Unity, where we center on prayer, they center on prayer very much 5 times a day. And it's interesting, originally where the focus was, it was focused on Jerusalem. Muhammad felt that obviously the Jews could not accept Jesus, but once they hear this message, they're obviously going to accept this. They didn't. And so eventually Muhammad shifted from you pray towards the direction of Jerusalem, you pray towards Mecca. And there's a very interesting, because again, you will see that he took a lot of things which are in the Bible. It's also in the Quran, but a little different. For example, remember when I talked about Judaism, I talked about Abraham and Sarah, and that Sarah could not conceive. And so Sarah says, if I can't have children, why don't you sleep with my servant Hagar? And so Abraham does, and the child born is Ishmael. Then Sarah, and I think I identify with this because I think so many of my long-run problems started out as my brilliant short-run solutions, and said they got to go. And so in the Bible, Abraham sends Hagar and Ishmael off. In the Quran, Abraham remains, his relationship with Hagar remains very, very strong. It's almost like Abraham has 2 families, one in the Holy Land, but also Hagar, who now lives according to the Quran, lives now in Mecca. And Hagar and Ishmael are in Mecca, and Abraham is spending a lot of time as it were, in Mecca. So that second pillar of prayer is so important. The third pillar is what's called the zakat, which is giving, charity, generosity, philanthropy, being so concerned about those who are marginal. And remember, I mean, growing up, Muhammad could have very easily been a fly on a fly swatter, remembering those days and remembering them well. And so Allah had a lot to say about that, and the zakat is very, very important. I remember from my United Way days when we were expanding to become an international brand. In the Middle East, we really did try and tie on very much to the principles of the zakat. The fourth pillar is that pillar of Ramadan, that month of reflection, almost again going to Jewish roots like the high holidays, or what we would have both in Advent and also particularly in Lent. We're not eating during the days, not doing other things during the days. At night, yes, you can eat and all that, but using this time to meditate, really deeply meditate, and think about what is important in your life and where you're going. And the fifth pillar is that pilgrimage to Mecca, once in a lifetime, that pilgrimage to Mecca. And I find it so interesting that in our Western culture, pilgrimage is really becoming much more important. We had a wonderful movie night on Friday, which we showed The Way with Martin Sheehan, which is he travels the way of St. James through France, through Spain, through Portugal. And after we showed the movie, then Daniel Thomas, our president of our board, who actually did a lot of the walking of that way, spoke about his experience on that and also showed pictures. It was a powerful, powerful evening. And I would say a lot of us who are not going to take that kind of time for pilgrimages, it's I think one of the reasons why things like labyrinths have become so incredibly popular. It's sort of, as it were, a short run or a short-term pilgrimage. One of the things which I really think we can take away from this series on unity and world religions is that truly we have a treasure trove. You're going through grief. How is grief handled in Judaism? You're going through prayer. How is prayer? I can't silence monkey mind. When we get to our Buddhist friends have so much to teach us in terms of prayer and meditation and mindfulness. I think one of the things I turn to in Islam is surrender. How do you do surrender? And both how examples from Islam about how you not do surrender, I think are both there. In terms of surrender, we just finished the class with Ken Daigle on unapologetic manifestation, and a vision of evolution of consciousness, which many of us in Unity have, is that many of us come in here with what we call victim consciousness. Boy, the world, let me sing my somebody done me wrong song. And, the world is, this, that, and then you pay taxes and then you die and all that. And we come in here, many of us, with that victim consciousness. But as we start learning those spiritual principles, we rise to what's called victor consciousness, and we're amazed. We're starting to bend metaphysical steel in our bare hands, as it were. I want this, and you use these spiritual principles. But then we start to learn that there is even a higher level of consciousness called vessel consciousness, where it's not just what the ego wants, that there is something within us which is so much more powerful and wonderful than our egos, that beyond which is within us. I love the old song, "Have your own way, Lord, have your own way. You are the potter and I am the clay." Now, I don't claim Islam as a monopoly on surrender. In Christianity, it is there, I think, also so strongly. I think of Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane on the night of his arrest, where it is said that he was sweating, it looked like blood. And he said, if this cup could be lifted from me, lifted. And I'm glad for that. I mean, it'd be kind of strange having a way shower who said, oh boy, boards and nails, bring them on, bring them on. I'm glad, if this cup can be lifted from me, lifted. But nevertheless, thy will, not my will. Thy will, not my will be done. And I think when we start to study so many things in Islam about this surrender, but it's so important to remember that it is surrender to God, surrender to Spirit, not surrender to a mullah, not surrender to a rabbi, not surrendered to a unity minister. And I'm so glad that we are doing integral ministry, where we're talking about moving from minister-centric churches to mission-centric churches. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of times in Islam, where it's mullahs and imams and that kind of centering, it can lead you down a pretty bad rabbit hole. And I don't want to pick on Islam because, I think it's in a lot of areas. Let me give one, again, I said was adopted into a Jewish family. There was a lot of the times the Hasidic Jews really worshiped the Rebbe, really worshiped the rabbi. Well, there was one of these rabbis, Hasidic rabbis in Brooklyn. Something didn't smell right in the state of Denmark, as it were, with this. We called him the rip-off rabbi. And so he had a lot of congregants also in Montreal. So he'd get in his pickup truck, drive to Montreal, then come back. Well, it turns out he's going over one of the international bridges from Canada to the United States. They stop him. In his back, in the pickup truck, was a refrigerator. They opened the refrigerator. In the refrigerator was tons of cocaine and other Canadian products, and the rip-off rabbi. And so, this thing of surrender, you can see how it can go off, it can really be a train going off the rails. But I think also Islam shows us so strongly what can happen and the power of surrender. I must tell you, my conversations, I've had several of them with David Lyman. I've not faced that kind of surrender. But to see that kind of surrender of going from dialysis to hospice, and there is going to come a time for all of us. Hopefully a lot of times we will be able to experience both physical cure and spiritual healing. But for all of us, like Myrtle in 1931, David going through this recently, there will come a time where there probably will not, unless you believe you're going to live on this life forever and ever, there will come a time where there will not be a physical cure, but you will still have the possibility of spiritual healing. Myrtle said that she was convinced that she could do more good on the other side. And David, David's sense of humor. He couldn't go through this thing without jokes and it was just incredible talking to him, and made me think, when I face this situation, I hope that I can do it with such serenity and such poise as David has been facing this. The other thing which is really interesting is that the brand of Islam, which so many of us in Unity, we didn't coordinate how many times Rumi is going to be mentioned here, but is the Sufi brand of Islam. I think the reason is because they are such experts on metaphysical interpretation, on allegory, on whirling dervishes like we had here. But we think of Rumi, this 13th century mystic, as this great saint and all that. He wasn't, and there's hope for us because he wasn't always that way. There was a period in his life where he, by his own admission, he was, well, to quote Monty Python, he was an upper class twit. And the story is he was at this tea house or whatever it was. There was a fountain out back. It was probably the Starbucks of its day. There's a fountain. And remember, this is before Gutenberg and movable type. And there was this guy called Sham Tabrizi who looked like a day laborer. And Sham Tabrizi comes up to Rumi and asks Rumi, he says, Rumi, what are you reading? Rumi looks at this guy and thought, this is, a day laborer. I could tell you, but you wouldn't understand, said Rumi. Cham Tabrizi takes the book, throws it in the pond. Now, I don't care whether you take this story literally or metaphysically or some combination of the two. It's a powerful story. Cham Tabrizi takes the book, throws it in the pond. Oh, my God, this is Rumi. He jumps in, he fishes it out. It's waterlogged, sogged. Tabrizi says, give it to me. Cham Tabrizi says a prayer over it and then hands it back to Rumi, and it's perfectly dry. Rumi looks at Cham Tabrizi and said, how did you do that? Cham looks at him and says, you wouldn't understand. Now, to quote, when Sally met, Harry met Sally, Cham said, I want what he's having, and Cham became his teacher. The story reminds me, would I have recognized Jesus during the first Easter? I mean, really, would I? The guy never had an op-ed in the New York Times. He's never been on CNN. What Ivy League school? He never went to Stanford. Would I have recognized Jesus? Maybe 60 or 70 years afterwards. But when the first Easter happened, would I have recognized that? Would I have recognized the Cham Tabrizis, as it were, in my life? And so I am so proud of the relationship that SLC has had and is having with our Islamic friends and with Islam itself. Let me give the last quote to Rumi, as it were. Rumi said, come, let's all start appreciating each other. True friendship and brotherhood is a field, an atmosphere of compassion that we are to become, rather than a possession that we try to keep for ourselves. Last week when I talked about Marcus Borg and Christianity, Marcus Borg, remember, said that Jesus' message could be summarized in 2 points. The reality of God, the reality of spirit, that the material world is not the end-all and be-all. And then he said the second was compassion and love. One of you came up to me after that service and said to me, Reverend Rick, isn't that true about all of the great religions? Isn't that true about all of the great religions? And I think that is so true. There will be different cultural things added and different ideas about how to obtain it. But again, that golden thread, that perennial philosophy really does boil down, I think, on those kind of points, whether you're looking at Islam, Buddhism, Christianity. And it's important for us to look at our lives and our society and think, are we aligned with that? And what we can do in our small way to help increase that alignment. Thank you, and God bless.
I muted that. Thank you, Reverend Rick, for that inspiring share about Islam. So wonderful to bring these various religions into our consciousness in a more full way. We're so grateful. So now we would like to invite you to come back next week for a focus on Confucianism and Shintoism. Reverend Rick will be sharing, along with Sawako Amma, who was raised in the tradition of Shintoism. And she also will be bringing to us the sacred taiko drum chant and dance with her group, Kohaku and Soul Light Connection. We'll join them with Catherine Mandella. And we'd like to greet our newcomers today. If you're watching us online, you can go to slcworld.org and please click on the connect button so that we can greet you more fully when you fill out the card there. And for those of you who are in person today, in a moment we're going to ask you to raise your hand, and we're going to give you a welcome card, and which you may take to the welcome table in the courtyard, along with a shell lei, so that we can greet you more fully. So if you're here for the first time, would you please raise your hand? We have some newcomers over there. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you. And now we have an opportunity to help support our wonderful community of Spiritual Life Center. You can text SLC Love to 44321. You can use the QR code, which is going to be on the screen, or on the back of your chairs. There's some cards there. Or you can just go right to our website and click on the donate button. We also accept mailed-in offerings. If you're online and you want to share this connection more fully, please click like or subscribe, comment, or share. And now let us together say our offering blessing. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate. Thank you, God.
If the friend arose inside of you, softly as you spoke his name, would you lay your head upon the threshold of your own heart and pray? If the friend arose inside of you, would you open like a rose, the water of his mercy raining on the garden of your sweet soul? Ah, would you open? Ah, would you pray? Ah, would you open and pray? Cast your heart into his fire, cast your tears into his sea, cast your soul into the gentle heaven of his laughter and be deep within the self of mirror, deep within the drop of sea, deep within the lover's breast he placed a hidden treasure, love seed, burning in his fire, drowning in his sea. Only one desire, to be. the call. None like my beloved.
Gosh, I got so taken by the music, I forgot I had to come up. Thank you. Thank you, dear Spirit, for all the prayers in our prayer box and prayers on people's hearts. Help them to know that overcoming power of Spirit, that whatever they are going through, there is a way out where they can experience serenity in the face of calamity. Thank you for all of the investments that are made into this ministry of time, treasure, and talent. And for this and so much more, we say thank you and amen and amen. Now, we're going to say the prayer for protection. We're going to sing the reconciliation song. Then I'm going to make a suggestion. Stay for a while because the music which Soul Light Connection and our friends are going to be playing is just incredible. Feel free to come on up and dance, then join us in the courtyard. We have time to do all of that. So let's start out with that prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, I am, and all is well. And now the reconciliation song.
Let us be love.